Riding back to Hanoi, the day's events ran through my head like the wind blowing through my hair. The only foreigners at the wedding, we were treated like celebrities.
Ciao.
We were placed at a finely crafted wooden table in the bride's house, adorned by elaborate chairs, and stared at. That's my partner in crime, Jonah.
I enjoyed it. The wedding?
I think she had a good time. When we arrived at the banquet earlier that morning, we turned quite a few heads. Although there were flies everywhere, the food was well prepared and delicious. The only thing available to drink was rice wine, so by 11 a.m. we were pretty drunk and tired. When we arrived at the bride's house, my friend Quang Ang, who had brought us there, suggested that we take a nap. We considered it impolite to do so in the middle of a wedding party, so we immediately refused. But then I reconsidered what I've seen of the Vietnamese and their afternoon nap. And I also saw the father of the bride passed out in the other room. When we woke up, a dozen small children and one very old woman were coming at us from all sides. They asked us our name and age. My friend Becky said Hai Muon, 20. Jenna said Hai Muon as well. I said Muon Chin, 19. Suddenly they all burst into laughter. Apparently it's hilarious in Vietnam when a man is younger than two of his female friends. We came downstairs as all the guests began arriving for the ceremony. That's the father of the bride. I have no idea who that is. The actual ceremony took place around the cameraman. As it started to unfold, none of the crowds began to loosen or quiet down. It was something of a circus. I don't know why the bride seemed so unhappy. Maybe it was because of the cramped quarters the actual ceremony was taking place in, but I doubt it. Her seemingly miserable reluctance reminds me of an anecdote in regards to the traditional Vietnamese marriage. I knew a Vietnamese girl who was going to be married in a few months, and when I asked her if she was excited, she grinned, nodding her head. But a moment later she looked down, losing the color in her face, and said, "No." I heard that she was very interested in traveling, but as soon as she became a wife, she would be instantly tied down by the Vietnamese cultural norms of married life. I later found out that she broke off her engagement, and that she would be visiting America sometime this year, if she could afford it. The funny thing is, the first time I saw this bride crack a smile was when she saw the ring. The ceremony ended with a bang. Traditionally, everybody left the ceremony in order to walk with the newlyweds to the party, which was at the groom's house. The party was something else, with Western music blaring and DJs crooning traditional Vietnamese ballads. Strangely, the bride and groom were honored to sit at our table, and eventually people began to ask if we would sing a song as a tribute to them, which is not an uncommon thing in Vietnam. We declined, and when it became clear that Quang Ang wasn't bringing us home anytime soon, Jenna decided to get up and dance, although no one else was. I got up with her, and suddenly, in a flurry of hands and scraping chairs, we were ushered to the front. People crowded around us to watch, standing on chairs and tables, but fortunately we weren't alone for long, when 6 wildly drunk young men bombarded us. At first I was a bit worried for Jenna, but it seemed like these men were more interested in dancing with each other than with her. When we finally escaped the dance floor, we agreed to take a picture with the bride and groom, and take a look at the bridal suite, which is the custom. When we were allowed to leave, we boarded some motorbikes and had an exhilarating ride back to a bus which would return us to Hanoi. It was one hell of a day.